Hey,
All right.
hey. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you have forgotten what that is,
How
Mark
how
wrote
could you forget? How
Mark
could
wrote a
you
book.
forget? I
He wrote
wrote
a
a
book.
book. I wrote a whole book about it.
AFA. Mark, what is it?
You're absolutely fucking amazing, exactly as you are. It's all just bullshit if you don't know it. And you need to know it. Because
Every day.
once you know that, you come to life prepared to live it completely, like wringing every ounce of happiness and joy out of it because you deserve it. You are
Yeah.
worthy. You are enough. My God, how many people have stories about I'm not enough?
Yeah.
Pretty
A lot.
much the majority of people,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so you are absolutely amazing.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, the book has a lot of tips and tricks on how you peel back those layers. But Sherry, you're absolutely amazing, just as you are.
Oh,
So
thank you, Mark.
here we are, Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. I want to wish my friend Rick Frizzetti a happy birthday. Rick passed away, I think, almost close to 20 years ago. He was my best friend since first grade. And he developed a rare form of cancer, and he fought it for a couple of years. But it was he left us. He left us early, and so
I'm
today was
sorry.
his birthday. So from when I was a 6-year-old kid until today, I still celebrate my best friend's birthday. And so happy birthday wherever you are. Oh, you're right here. Oh, okay, he's right here.
He's right behind you. I can see him. I
Here,
see his
yeah,
aura.
right, everything actually he's right here. Right here. He's still like he's part
He
of
is
me.
still
Because,
there. He is a part of you. That's beautiful.
yeah.
And to be able to celebrate a friendship like that,
Yeah.
and just think about this, okay? Birthday, the
Mhm.
day that you enter into this world as a human, right? And
Mhm.
so he's still has a birthday, even though he's not here.
His human experience began on February 24th, 1962.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. And so, yeah. So here we are, Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. We get to be here physically. Physically, we are here. We get to enjoy this day, even though he's doing his thing wherever he is now. I mean, maybe he's reincarnated somewhere. I don't know.
who knows?
Could be.
Well, as we
But,
know about energy, really quickly, energy
oh,
cannot be created or destroyed.
okay.
Energy
So,
is,
yeah. So
was, and always
I was
will
on a
be.
training yesterday with Gina Millicone Long, and she's an NLP specialist, neuro linguistic programming specialist,
Programmer. Yeah.
and she's written quite a few books, very well known, great coach. Anyway, she said she reminded me of one thing. We always need to be reminded of stuff. We learn so much stuff. She reminded me of Einstein's theory of relativity and what Einstein did. He was the first one to ever do it in the history of humanity, is that he had his famous equation, E equals mc squared. Theory of relativity, right? E equals mc squared. He's the first person who ever said energy is matter.
Yes.
So everything
Vibrates.
solid, not if it's solid, it's just energy that's slowed down its vibration. So
It's just
everything is energy.
heavy.
Everything's energy. And that's why energy healing works, because we're all energy. Oh my God.
We're all bioenergetic beings.
Yes. Yes. So here we are, Wednesday, 24th of 2021, February, right? Only one we get. So let's make the best day ever right now.
Cheers to you all.
Woo!
We love you, and you're absolutely
Oh
fucking
my
amazing.
God. Good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard. Spaceship is about to take off.
The spaceship took off at 4 a.m. this morning for me.
Yeah, for you. Oh my gosh, Sherry. All right, so let's talk about the daily love. Daily love today was about world peace.
There you go.
And everybody thinks world peace happens outside with somebody else. Like it's always somebody else's fault. It's always world peace starts right here.
Yeah,
Right
it
here.
does. Yep.
And so it starts off with, I commit myself to valuing the humanity and the divinity of all people. So let me
Mm.
tell you, I was in the Marines for 8 years. We're trained to kill people. That's what
Mm.
we do. When somebody needs to be killed, they send the Marine Corps in because we get the job done and we don't stop until it's done, right? We're known for that.
Mm.
But it's all fear-based.
Yeah.
It's all fear-based. Everything, every conflict with another person or a country, or it's all fear-based. And it's not really the people of that country. Like Sherry, we grew up in the era of, or at least I grew up in the era of, it was the end of the Cold War, right? The
Yeah.
Russians were the enemy. And, today they're still considered the enemy. But I know a lot of Russian people. I have a
Me
lot of
too.
Russian friends. The Russian people are not my enemy, nor
Mhm.
are the Middle Eastern people. None of them are my enemies. So here's the thing. I talked about it in the Daily Love this morning. I belong to Entrepreneurs Organization, which you know.
I know. It's great.
It's the largest
Awesome.
peer network of entrepreneurs in the world. It's like 14,000 of us around the globe, and top entrepreneurs from every country. And so when I started 9 years ago, I had this very myopic view about the United States is the best, the only, we care about people, everybody else, they're suspect. Well, what I learned is, Sherry, is that it doesn't matter where you're from, what religion you are, what gender you are, it doesn't matter. We're all dealing with the same exact issues and problems and fears, and we all want the same thing. We all
Peace.
want happy, peaceful, joyful life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. So, although world peace may be daunting, I know
Mm.
that it begins with me. I don't need to be reactive to other people. I don't have to buy into the
Stories.
bullshit. By the way, I haven't watched the news or read a newspaper in many years. And you know what? My life is significantly better.
Yeah.
I urge everyone, spread the word, turn the TV off, don't watch the news, don't read the newspaper, because none of it is real. And
There you go.
it's all designed to cause you to be fearful,
Yep.
because when you're fearful, you can be controlled.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So here it is. Here's the other cool thing. So when you
Yeah.
have all that outside stimulus coming in,
Mhm.
right? What
Mhm.
does it do? It
Yeah.
starts to create stories, because if you don't understand it,
Right.
you have to give meaning to it. That's what we do as humans. We have to give meaning to everything.
And
You
usually
have,
it's a meaning applied by somebody else.
right, it's someone else's story that you're buying into.
Right. Right.
Right? So here's the thing is, so if we can create an internal world of peace,
Mhm.
guess what's going to happen? That's going to be reflected back to us.
It emanates because
It
we're
emanates.
energetic beings, that
Hmm.
positive world peace energy. And that's what the point was of the whole thing, was that world peace begins right here. And absolutely, that positive energy going out changes things, changes
So,
things.
so here is a question I want you all to think about today
Uh,
is this:
mhm.
how can I show up in the world today as the face of peace?
Yes. Yes.
It's a
You
good
know
one.
what? Sometimes it takes courage to step outside of those fearful moments. Guess what? They're all just patterns. You
Yeah.
can switch tracks and go down the path of, hey, what's the worst that can happen if I'm peaceful and joyful and happy?
Right.
But that spreads to somebody else and they're happy too. Well,
The ripple effect.
the ripple
Absolutely.
effect.
Right. So
So here
here's
we
so
are.
here's here we are. So really quickly too, we're going to talk
Yeah.
about our self-care tool of the day,
Oh, hell yeah.
and how the face of peace is going to ooze into the day, because today my health
Yep.
tool is traditional.
Mm,
Traditional care. Needing to take,
yes.
look at this. I have one body, one meat suit, I call
Yep.
it,
Yep.
and I have to take care of it. So, my human self with my
Mhm.
laundry list of
Mhm.
medical problems that I'm not living in the story, I still
Right.
need to take care of my body, and traditional care is part of it. So I'm going today to get trigger point injections all through my neck, upper
Yep.
back, like about 30 of them. And
Mhm.
people are like, "What? What? You're getting trigger point injections?" Well, what it does, I'm just going to explain it really quickly. It's a pain management tool
Mhm.
where it resets my central nervous system. right? So the pain of the needle takes away the pain of what I'm experiencing. So it's really, really cool. It's like a release. You get the jab and the jab.
Yep.
So here's the thing too about showing up as the face of peace
Hmm.
is that I need to get there. And
Yeah.
part of me needing to get there needs to be working through some of my insecurities,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yeah.
like those insecurities are just a story, right? So the meditation, the breath work, the
Hmm.
cannabis, the healthy tools that we have is going to help me to get out the door to get to this appointment to take care of myself.
Love it.
There we
Love
go.
it. Love it.
What about you?
Awesome. So you know what? Today, here's my self-care. I'm going to do my 30-minute meditation, and I am going to get to my CrossFit class because I'm sore today because Monday's class was good.
There
Like it
you
was
go.
like my butt is sore.
Nice.
We did lunges, and so I know from experience that when I go today, that's gonna just dissipate all that delayed onset muscle soreness, which is what you get 2 days, 3 days after you work out. Morning, Joe.
Good
And,
morning, everyone.
and so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do that. But the number one thing I'm gonna do for self-care is that meditation.
There you
That
go. Yep.
meditation. So you know what I'm gonna meditate on? Guess what? World peace.
There you go. Peace. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, really quickly for our viewers, I just want to let them know your healthcare tool, because you take, where is it? Your own Nurse Mark CBD, right? So you work
Yeah.
out, you take your
Ooh, that's a good
CBD, and what's
idea.
really,
Good idea.
yeah. So I know, ready? Everyone down the hatch.
Everyone down the
So the
hatch.
part that, so what's our cool about CBD and exercise is that CBD helps muscle recovery.
Mhm.
And CBD is going to actually help circulate your own internal bliss molecule. So we create cannabinoids upon internal endogenous cannabinoids upon
Mhm.
demand. So Mark's working out. Motion is the lotion, right? He's going to
Absolutely.
stimulate the endocannabinoid system to release
Right.
the anandamide, to circulate, to have the
Yeah.
endorphins start to flow.
Mhm.
When you take CBD, when you exercise, guess what? The feeling
Yeah.
will last longer.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, I mean, I wanna keep telling everybody this stat, the second leading cause of preventable death, meaning something that you can actually physically have an action upon, it's not outside of your control. The second leading cause of preventable death is a sedentary lifestyle. So sitting, which we do in front of the computer a lot,
A
sitting in
lot.
front of the TV, not being active. That is the second leading cause of preventable death. Behind what? Tobacco smoking.
Hmm.
So,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, get up off the couch, move. Now, that's the
Most.
beauty of cannabinoid therapy, Sherry, is that it helps in so many different areas that when somebody's not like you were suffering, right? You couldn't physically get
Move.
off the couch. You couldn't move, right? It was an impossibility the way you were feeling. Cannabinoid therapy, cannabis can help well, look at you. You're getting up and you're going out of the house. You're active. You move
I'm
around.
active.
You're
I'm moving
participating.
around.
That's the beauty of cannabinoid therapy. It has so many positive attributes and it raises you up enough that you can start to get off of the couch.
Hmm.
So, if you have somebody in your life who is suffering, is not able to get up and get out and be active, help them by getting them hooked up with cannabinoid therapy.
Oh,
Help them, right? That's us. That's you coming into our community. That's how we get people to be active. And we don't want, a sedentary lifestyle to be the second leading cause of death. We want it off the list
Hmm.
because all it takes is
Absolutely.
getting up off the couch. And if we can get people to a point where they're feeling more healthy and they can engage in life, guess what? When you've been in that position where you were, Sherry,
I've been there. It's
once you
horrible.
start to participate again, how does that feel?
Feels absolutely fucking amazing.
Exactly. Like,
It's
you're
such a,
happy to be part of it again, right?
yes.
So you're motivated. So let's give people a chance to get to open that door and step into the sunlight and start to participate in life again. So,
Yes.
there we go.
Here we go. So another
Wellness
part,
Wednesday, baby.
well, yeah, I know. Wellness Wednesday. This is a really awesome long show, and I'm excited we're going to do it because Wellness Wednesday is really, really important. And what we're doing here at the Green Nurse is we're looking at different health awareness topics throughout the month. And
Yeah.
we want to bring education to you all. And we also want to educate on how it can apply to the endocannabinoid system.
Right.
So February 26th to
Yeah.
the 28th
hmm
is National Eating Disorders Awareness Week, where everyone has a seat at the table. So the goal of the National Eating Disorders Awareness Week is to shine the spotlight on eating disorders by educating the public,
Yeah.
spreading the message of hope, and putting life-saving resources into the hands of those in need. So there's a lot of
Right.
times what happens with people, I've worked with patients that have had, anorexia from disease processes where they've had a difficult time eating.
Yeah.
But those that have also had the mental, emotional, spiritual anorexia nervosa. And many times patients have gotten nervous that seriously, that they're going to get the munchies. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
Mhm.
I don't want to do cannabis. I'm going to get the munchies. Well,
Right.
we are going to here to talk to you about what the munchies means and why it happens.
Yeah.
And if you're using cannabis in a way that is appropriate, you're going
Mhm.
to probably decrease the munchies. So it's all about the balance of the different cannabinoids and the different things that
Right.
we're doing in our lives. So munchies, Mark, how does
Uh-huh.
cannabis trigger the munchies?
Okay, so we all know, or at least we should know by now, if you've been listening, THC binds to the cannabinoid receptor 1, which is in your brain. And of course, you're stimulated to eat by your brain and the neurotransmitters, which cannabis has a positive effect on, right? So in the forebrain, there's a part of your brain that enhances food palatability, right? Makes things taste good. In the basal ganglia, that enhances eating pleasure. So, the physical sensation of, ooh, I'm eating. This is good. This is good. The hypothalamus regulates appetite and food intake. So really, I mean, how many times have you, just eaten out of habit when you're not really hungry, but it's just dinner time? I might as well eat, right?
Yes.
This
Yes.
regulates appetite and food intake, and so it gives you that um, that feeling of satiation, like, okay, I've eaten enough, I'm feeling good.
Right.
And in the stomach and the small intestine, it regulates ghrelin, which is the appetite stimulating hormone.
Right.
So really, THC changes the functions of the neurons in your brain, and the neurons that normally play a role in the feelings of satiety, right? Satiation, feeling that you're full.
Yes, the
It
full
becomes the
feeling.
driver of food intake, right? So
Yeah.
THC really has an effect on that.
And it does make food smell
Mhm.
and taste better. So you think
Yeah,
about, it stimulates the olfactory bulb, which is part of the brain responsible for recognizing scents. And so, sense of smell is
yeah.
really, is stimulates an appetite. Can how many times and you can smell something that you've really enjoyed eating
Oh
that,
my God. You like it, like, it's amazing how it ties to a memory, right? So you'll smell something that your grandmother cooked when you were a little kid. Somebody will be cooking it somewhere, you'll smell it, and suddenly you're in your grandmother's kitchen. Like,
oh,
that memory in your brain is on. I mean, it's
yep,
just amazing, the interaction of food and you as a human being.
yes.
Yeah.
So what about studies, Mark? There was a study.
Woo! Okay, so there's a study conducted in the University of Bordeaux. They dosed some mice. Those mice, they get a lot of cannabis. They dosed with those that were dosed with THC. It significantly increased their ability to smell food and eat more of it. And because scent and taste are closely related, right? I mean, when you have a cold and you're eating, do you
Yeah,
really taste the food? No. So
yeah,
smell and taste are really combined together to give you that pleasurable sense of eating.
yes,
It so because scent and taste are closely related, it allows us to better taste flavors.
right, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we talk about neurotransmitters, right? The
Mhm.
endocannabinoid system regulates all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and the
Mm.
neurotransmitter messaging signaling systems.
Right.
So dopamine is a neurotransmitter.
Oh,
So
dopamine.
dopamine's awesome.
Oh, I love the
Dopamine. So
right. That's
T,
why, I mean, that's why you become addicted to things, folks. It's because that
pleasure,
dopamine gets blown out, right? So
pleasure.
even though you know that things are not good for, I mean, I smoked for 15 years. I knew it wasn't good for me. I didn't really like it, but when I did it, I got a dopamine rush and
Mhm.
woohoo.
Yes.
Mm,
So THC promotes the release of the dopamine, right? So it
mhm.
enhances the sensation of pleasure that
Yeah.
comes as a result of eating while you're elevated, right? So when
Mm,
THC is present, your body receives that extra rush of dopamine, just like Mark said, from
yeah.
the food that we're eating. So if you can imagine, if we made the right food choices,
We'd
can you
still get
imagine?
that dopamine rush.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. So
instead of,
mhm.
"Oh, an Oreo cookie," you'd be like,
Yes.
"Oh, a cucumber."
Yes.
Mm.
So that's the other part too. The cool thing about THC and the hormone ghrelin, that
Yep.
appetite stimulating hormone that speeds up digestion, it's
Mhm.
also responsible for creating the sensation of hunger that
Yeah.
plays a part in metabolizing carbs,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
so what, which might be why THC causes the cravings of those carbohydrate rich foods.
Right.
So
Right.
it's an opportunity if you get the munchies to look at a different choice
Mhm.
that's still going to provide you that feel good feeling, but those
Right.
micronutrients are going to completely 100% help any cannabis that you're taking work better.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sherry, munchies for medicine.
Munchies for
Like, that's
medicine.
what I mean, that was one of the primary uses early on for cannabis, for medical marijuana, was for wasting syndrome, for anorexia, for people not eating during the AIDS epidemic, because part of the progression of AIDS is wasting syndrome, right? People just don't eat, and they lose muscle mass, and they lose body fat, and it continues to just spiral down.
That happened to
And
me.
that's really the deadly part, right?
Hmm.
So they figured out that cannabis, excuse me, they figured out that cannabis actually stimulates eating, right? It allows things, as we just said and went over, it allows things to taste better and to feel better in your mouth, right? So these people that had wasting syndrome would use cannabis and they would be able to eat again. So they used it for HIV and AIDS to begin with. And then they figured out, well, okay, there's a lot of people undergoing chemotherapy. My gosh,
Hmm.
will it work for them? The answer is yes.
Right.
And so it's used there now too.
Right. Right. So, munchy, munchy, munchy. So, I'm going to just tell you from a patient perspective is that I have fun when I get the munchies because I don't get it very often. So,
Yeah.
cannabis to me is used as medicine for
Mhm.
eating.
Mhm.
And the reason why is because I have had that wasting syndrome, the issues with eating based on the illness that I got years ago.
Right.
So basically, it's really, really paying attention to what I put into my body because nutrition is huge for me.
Yeah.
So, what we've come up with is we were going to talk a little bit about what our favorite healthy munchy foods are, which is
Mm.
good. Green Nurse Carrie Lee, are you out there? I just want to say
Yep.
thank you so much. She created a beautiful graphic today and talked about munchies and some of her favorite munchy foods, which I think
Mm.
is great. So, munchy food. So, it's really important to hydrate, of the soda, get rid of it, right? Water, herbal teas.
Best thing
Some
you
of,
can do is get rid of soda.
get rid
The
of soda.
one thing that
Boom.
you can do, get rid of that.
Yeah, and here's the reason why. One, sugar. There's a ton of phosphorus in it, phosphoric acid,
Yep.
and phosphoric acid leaches calcium from our bones. Think about that, right?
Yeah.
Soda. Just think of soda, sugar, inflammation, leaching
Soda,
calcium from our
horrible.
bones.
Don't drink it. If there's one thing that you can do for yourself or for your kids or for anybody you love is help them and you to not drink soda. It's, once you get on the path of just like picking another drink like water, oh my gosh. I mean, I never drink soda.
Me
It's
neither.
water. Like even, when I'm, at 1:30 in the morning, if I've been out and I'm sitting in the Wendy's drive-through, I haven't ordered a soda with my number 2 Double Dave's Bingo Whopper, whatever the hell it is, right? I have not ordered a soda with that in a long time, and I feel like it justifies my 1:30 AM feeding because I order water. But here's
Right.
if you can change that one thing, it's great. So, sorry,
Yeah.
got off
That's
track.
okay, Mark. It's awesome. I love your stories. Just make me laugh and giggle. So, which stimulates more of my own anonymine.
Yes, that's
So
awesome.
anyway, so healthy munchy
Mhm.
foods. Mark, why don't you say what yours are, and then I'll go through some of our food.
You know, I'm looking at you guys put a list together of the things that you really love, and I'm like, well, you guys are, God, you're like world-renowned chefs when it comes to this. I'm like a simple
Simple guy, cheese,
guy. You know, my thing is like a healthy
pepperoni.
munchy snack is gonna be sliced green apple, like Granny Smith apples with crunchy natural Teddy peanut butter.
There
Oh
you go.
my
There
God.
you go. That's a good one.
I think I'm gonna just end the show here and go get that right now. Sherry,
Go. I'll keep talking.
love that. Oh my God, it's a favorite munchy snack. God, I love
Yes,
that.
that's
Oh,
awesome.
but you guys, why don't you talk about your fancy list of things? Like, go ahead.
Well, I just want to give a list because I just want people to think about different
So
options and
many
about why
options.
yeah, there's so many options. So
Yeah.
guacamole, avocados,
Mhm,
sliced red
mhm.
peppers, okay? What I love
Yep.
too is avocado eggs with cheese and salsa. That is like
Mhm.
one of my favorite things to eat when I'm hungry.
Right.
Non Greek yogurt with nuts,
Mhm,
fresh fruit,
mhm.
peanut butter, anything, okay? Peanut butter,
Yeah.
grapes and peanut butter, melted
Oh,
peanut butter and celery, carrots,
yeah.
apples.
Yeah.
Peanut butter goes good on anything. So even not just peanut butter, but nut butters, almond butter,
Yeah, they're
cashew
good.
butter,
If you haven't
they are
tried them, give it
really
a
good.
shot, man. That
Yep,
almond butter's good stuff.
really good stuff. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but I'm a dipper. I like dipping. So I sometimes have melted a big giant bowl of peanut butter and I've gotten all my little fruits out, bananas, grapes, apples. So really, really just
Yum.
another way of getting healthy fat into your body.
Right, right.
So other thing too that I love, which is because I'm a big dipper, is hummus. You can celery, pea
Mhm,
pods,
mhm,
carrots,
mhm.
peppers. You can dip them in hummus.
Right.
And I love tzatziki. So you guys ever had tzatziki? It's delicious. It's a
It
Greek
is.
yogurt dip. It's got a
God, I love
little
that.
bite to it. Same thing. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
dip.
yeah. Get that on my gyros.
So
My
you think about
gyros.
munchies, right? Yeah, you think about munchies, right? People are like grabbing, dipping the chips.
Yeah.
So you just change what you're going to dip.
Mhm.
Get rid of the chip and dip something healthy, which is going to
Yeah,
be really,
yeah.
really good.
Now people think that munchies, you know, in and of itself are a bad thing, and we're saying maybe not, right? But there's a study, Sherry, that we had talked about, and I think that, you know, our friend Dr. Jordan Tischler posted this up a little while ago because it looks awfully familiar. And it's an article that says, you know, if weed gives you the munchies, why are potheads skinnier and healthier than everyone else? Well, it goes on to explain the different ways that cannabis can affect you metabolically. Like, okay, why are uh, by and large or by and small cannabis smokers usually have less body mass index, right? So it's not this myth of the munchies causing people to be larger because they smoke cannabis is really a myth. And
Totally.
um, so it affects insulin sensitivity, your glucose levels. It's interesting. The regular cannabis users had a much healthier insulin response compared to average people. So there's a lot of studies being done. You know, will this help with diabetes? Because part of the problem with diabetes is, of course, insulin resistance,
Resistance.
insulin
Yeah,
sensitivity, right? So
absolutely.
you know what? Cannabis use is probably not gonna make you fat, okay?
No.
So
Well, here's
everybody
the other thing too.
stressing about the munchies, but
So here's the other thing
go
too
ahead.
about cannabis
Yeah.
and body weight, body mass,
Mhm.
exercise. So there's been studies. There was a study that showed that people that use cannabis daily actually exercise 45 minutes longer than those that don't. That could be
Mm.
part of it. The other
Yeah.
thing too is I interviewed an Olympic athlete. This was
Mhm.
cool a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And she did an Olympic athlete study on 8,000 Olympic athletes. And her
Mm.
question, her survey was, is do you use cannabis? What do you use and how often? So
Mhm.
out of the 8,000 Olympic athletes,
Yeah.
25% of them used cannabis every single day.
Right.
So you think,
There's a lot of studies being done now in that paradigm where, you know, athletes are starting to use cannabis
yeah,
and it enhances their performance. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. We know that now. So here we go. So food
Mhm.
cravings. So when we think about food cravings without the munchies, so if
Right.
you're not under when you're not under cannabis medicine, say you just haven't had anything and you start to have these food cravings, it
Right.
also may indicate a nutrient depletion. Think about this.
Right.
Our bodies are constantly talking to us, so we need to pay attention to it. So if you're
We do.
craving sugar, oily, salty, greasy,
Salty foods. Right.
fast
Right.
food, fake food, fried food, your
Your
body
body
might,
knows what it needs to
your body
survive,
keeps
right? Your
score.
your body's like million it's very old, your body, not physically you, but your body in the general sense of human beings, it's evolved. It knows when it needs magnesium, it knows this
It
food has
knows it.
magnesium. Eat it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So this has been awesome. I
Yeah.
want you all to just think about how you can show up as the face of peace in the world today. And
Yeah.
think about diet and nutrition. We want to change perception. We are here
Mhm.
to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and use cannabis and be
Yes.
high. Hence the
Yeah,
hope, inspiration for growth and healing. We want, what's a miracle? A miracle is a change of perception, that
that's right.
aha moment when it just makes sense. And that's what we're
Mhm.
here to do. We're hoping to bring you all miracles.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, Mark, we've got a big day today.
Woo! It's a busy one, Sherry. It's a busy one.
Busy
We're gonna
media
work all
day.
day and then 420 in the weeds, Prohibition Talk Radio with our friend Joseph Smith. And
And today
yeah,
we're having a guest on, Nikki Lawley. So she is a pediatric nurse that suffered multiple traumatic brain injuries while working.
while working.
And she is a disabled nurse now, but
Mhm.
her cannabis saved her life. So she's going to talk about traumatic brain injury, her experience, what she went through, and how cannabis has helped her to come back to life and live her
Cannabis
best
is
life.
huge in traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
Can really have a positive effect.
And we
Yeah.
talked about
So
that a
stay
couple weeks
tuned.
ago.
Yeah, stay
Yep.
tuned. Stay tuned. 420 this afternoon, Eastern time. And then, of course, 8 p.m., Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Podcast.
Yep.
Live
We're
streaming, Facebook and
li-
YouTube around the world.
around the world. And so, what are we doing on our weekly podcast? What we're doing is we're illuminating nurses and health professionals that have entered into the cannabis space, that are
Mhm.
sharing their compelling stories of healing, what brought them into the space, and what they're now doing in the community. So, we're here to illuminate health professionals that are stepping into the space
Right.
of including cannabinoids, cannabinoid therapeutics into what they're
Especially
doing.
nurses, because it is, of course, the year of the nurse and the midwife.
It's the year of the nurse. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
back to energy Friday. Okay, I've got Denise, Michelle, Carrie Lee out there. We 9 a.m. We're doing weekly frequency
Mhm.
Friday. We're going to be bringing you high vibes,
Yeah.
teaching you about energy work, Reiki, reconnective healing, but specifically this new device called Healy. So it's
Mhm.
a really, really cool thing. Join us Friday morning in the Green Nurse
Yeah.
Community Room.
Have to learn more about that. Remember,
Yep.
E equals MC squared. Energy equals matter. We're all energy.
We're all energy. And finally, I want you all to go to Amazon and look at Nurse Mark's book. There's like a sneak, there's like literally, you got to go there. I mean, it's what you have written, that
Yeah.
even just the prologue and some of
Peel that
the
onion back, baby. Peel that
peel it
onion back.
back.
Get
I
rid of
mean,
those layers of bullshit that have been piled on you
it's
since you were born and get back to the fact that you're
yeah,
absolutely fucking amazing exactly as you are. You don't
yeah,
need to be better. You don't need to learn anything different. You are absolutely amazing and perfect like you are right at this moment.
right as you are. So I don't know
Yeah.
about you, Mark, but I'm going to have an AFA day.
Oh, it already is an AFA day. Seeing everybody here and just seeing you, Sherry. Thanks for stopping by. Really, thanks for stopping by, everybody.
Yes.
Your energy in this moment is absolutely needed and honored, and just it's joyful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So remember, Mark, what's it all about?
Oh my God, AFA day. What is it all about, Sherry? Come on.
It's about living your best life.
That's right. All right, folks. We'll see you later on today, tonight, and tomorrow morning. Thanks. Have an
Mhm.
AFA day.